Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on the Forgotten Weapons Library. I'm Ian, and today we're looking at a book on the Winchester-Lee Navy rifle, the M1895. The book's actual title is The Winchester-Lee Rifle. No ambiguity there on what the subject matter is. Author was Eugene Myszkowski. He's done a couple of other books similar to this one. This is a fairly thin volume, and it's very specific to the 1895 model Lee Navy rifle. This was an interesting rifle because it was one of the first very small bore, in fact for quite some time it was the smallest bore weapon adopted by any US military force. The rifles were chambered in 6mm Lee Navy, appropriately enough, as a result of some studies done by the Navy that showed that what they were really looking for was a very flat trajectory and armor piercing capability for naval troops firing. One of the main targets they anticipated shooting at were enemy soldiers on ships or enemy sailors on other ships, and so they wanted a very flat trajectory, easy shooting at long distances. At this time, 1890s, the Army and the Navy really didn't cooperate a lot. Not that they were antagonistic, but they didn't have joint operations. So it didn't really make a difference that the Army and Navy would have a different cartridge. They didn't source their ammunition from the same places. So James Paris Lee designed this particular rifle. It was a straight pull bolt action, so no lifting of the bolt, just back and forward. So it was a very fast gun to shoot, had this very small bore cartridge. Really it was a rifle well ahead of its time. And Eugene's book does a really pretty good job of going through the history. It talks about the development of the rifle, what led to its adoption, development of the cartridge that it used, and then changes through the production run of the gun, because as always, the initial pre-production prototypes are going to have some differences from early production and middle of the road and the late production guns. He also discusses the sporter version of the rifle. As with pretty much all the military rifles of the era, the M1895 was offered to the military in one configuration and could also be purchased by Joe off the street in a civilian sporter configuration, which basically meant a slightly different stock. There's some talk of some of the accessories, bayonet, etc. But really, this is a very single subject book. If you're interested in the Lee Navy rifle, if you're looking for information on it, maybe you have one of them and want to find out where it fit in production, where that rifle may have been or may have come from, this would be an excellent book for you to pick up. It's a thin volume, but it's very reasonably priced and informative, does exactly what it sets out to do. So, The Winchester-Lee Rifle by Eugene Myszkowski. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Pick it up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks.